Why teachers are clapping students and no one cares by one cloud nine. And yes, I got a taco on me.
Alright, so Pete, back in high school, I had to find a teacher sophomore year. Like, I think
everybody had at least one.
She was 23, young. I'm not gonna describe how she looks, but she was very, very attractive. And every guy in my school wanted to get at that. I mean, I was seeing who ain't have a single shot at this girl try to shoot, bro. And look, this teacher was a very respectable woman. She was heavily devoted to God and Christianity. So every single shot that was shot up, she swiftly laughed it off and ignored it. Blocked by James, whatever you want to say. Nothing was gonna happen with that. And she's engaged to a nice 25-year-old man. I assume he looks pretty old. Not a 16-year-old. That's what we're talking about today. See, for some reason, it's become a trend for these younger teachers that may or may not be attractive. They could be fun.
On the line, it's not new.
It's an epidemic.
But I think it's been an influx of obviously the teachers that we had were a little older. They were on the older side. A lot of veterans. Teachers. Now it's a lot of new. It's a constant flow of new teachers and like social media and everything's just making it seem amplified.
Yeah,
this been going on.
Yeah,
like been going on.
They could be chopped. I've seen the both to just sleep with their students. And it's weird. Like, I see it happening more and more. It's like a news story every single month. And nobody really cares. Matter of fact, people are in the comments congratulating these students for having sex with their teachers. But in all reality, it's rape. Let me show you an example, though. I was on Twitter and I seen this post talking about a 33-year-old high school Spanish teacher accused of having sex with a 17-year-old student. Now, first off, if it's gonna be a teacher, for some reason, it's always gonna be the Spanish teacher. I don't know why they so freaky. 33-year-old girl with a 17-year-old boy. That's like a 16-year age gap. That's disgusting. And you would think everybody would be on the same page about how disgusting that is. I mean, she's almost doubled his age. That's weird. Well, you would be wrong, because if you scroll down into these comments, you'll see replies like this. I don't feel sorry for the 17-year-old kid, because I remember being 17 would have been a dream come true for any kid that age. When I was in school, all the female teachers looked like Mrs. Doubtfire. Just say you don't talk to women. What are we talking about? Is that not weird to y'all? I don't care how much of a fantasy that could have been. That's still that's weird.
It's still very weird. Yeah. The only people that should be saying that is the like 20 or 18 to like 22-year-olds. That's the only people that should still be saying
still that. In that mindset.
Yeah. While I do understand, yes, I would have. But I'm not gonna say that's not weird.
Yeah, that's weird, bro.
That's weird. Like, that teacher is a criminal.
Yeah.
Like, lock her to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Because if the roles were reversed, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You have to look at everything if the roles were reversed.
If it was a 33-year-old dude with a 17, everybody, oh my God! Da, da, da. Just because the dudes around him don't feel sorry for him or whatever, don't mean he not like, yeah, this ain't right. I'm snitching. Yeah. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody else could have snitched.
Yeah.
It don't mean he snitched.
Here we finally have a reply with some sense. Having sex when a boy is the victim, rape when a girl is the victim. Must be tough being a boy child in this life. Which is a real tweet, bro. Like, people don't really care when men get raped at all. That's just a big thing in society. We oftentimes think, oh, it's cool, you feel me? Men like they don't care who it is. Bro, if it's a 40-year-old woman trying to have sex with a 15-year-old, that is weird.
And guess what? The reason none of us as teenagers would have thought it was weird is because we were teenagers.
Yeah.
We were immature.
Literally.
It's once you grow up, you're like, oh, even though I would have done it, that's kind of
still weird.
She still needs to be put on the registry.
It's just as weird for a 33-year-old to try to have sex with a 17-year-old. I don't care if he's a year off of 18. That's weird. That's a 16-year age gap. The age gap is almost older than the student. I will sound odd, but it's really different. When there's a girl, 17-year-old girl would not be able to defend herself against a 33-year-old dude. But a 17-year-old guy is strong enough to defend himself against a 33-year-old woman. I believe it or not.
Both are capable of
it's the same,
technically consenting, yes, but it's still against the law. And odd. Yes, there are some fast ass 16 and 17-year-old girls that would do that.
But it's still wrong.
Thank you. Just because either side consented doesn't mean it should have been done.
I almost had a stroke reading that, first off. Second off, you're just weird. This is not this is not X videos. This is real life. That is still weird. Even in the case and in the off reality that the boy did enjoy it, that doesn't matter. That's still rape. What are we talking about? And I'm getting so tired of weird, horny, porn-driven, lustful guys congratulating men on getting raped. And if you want to know why I'm going so hard on this topic, I'm going to show you a different case of this same situation happening. Y'all ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're not saying that shit now, aren't y'all? Barstool high school teacher arrested accused of sex relationship with a 16-year-old student. Arrest the 16-year-old too. So it's different when they're ugly.
And while I do agree with that funny ass statement, it's the same, bro.
The same situation.
And buddy, what were you? You had to be feeded. Now,
wanted a war body.
It's crazy because the first thing people probably thought is that she was a predator.
Yeah.
Just because of how she looked compared to how these other younger teachers might look. The first thought is probably she's a predator. No, he probably wanted it too. Crazy,
bro. Like
I wouldn't want it. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But like, people just can't wrap their head around maybe the 16-year-old was trying to do that too. But either way, nigga, damn. What are y'all doing?
The only reason why y'all are congratulating these guys is because the teacher is attractive, and no matter how attractive they are, that teacher is still a pedophile, and they should be shamed. Think if the roles were reversed, right? Let's say it's a Michael B. Jordan looking male teacher and a 16-year-old girl. The girlies in the comment section not finna be defending that teacher, talking about, well, he's fine, so it doesn't matter. No, they're finna call him a creep and a weirdo. And he is a creep and a weirdo, so he should get that criticism.
No. Some of them will. Yeah. Same thing they do with some,
just like with the dudes. Like with people are delusional no matter how you slice it.
The prisoners. Yeah. The prisoners that look attractive and they, oh my God, I don't care what he did. They don't care.
Let him out.
They gave some of these
30 people.
The light skinned dude got a whole, I don't know if his career still going.
Oh, the one who became a model.
Yeah. Whole career, because y'all fiending over I don't know if he's a felon or just a prisoner.
Nah, I think it was like domestic abuse.
Guess who's back again with gamer subs. What's up, chat? You might be asking how did Conor McGregor get here? You're asking too many questions. The boys over at InternetCity have teamed up with gamer subs. If you go to gamersubs.gg/InternetCity right now, you can get 10% off. I'm talking flavors like raw meat, guacamole, gamer fart. And these two right here, we got the nuclear section and chug juice. You either go, or I'm gonna go with you. Guess who's back again?
Attractive that teacher was, she is still a creep and a weirdo, and she's exposing a minor to a lot of sexual activities. Stuff like that turns people into sex addicts. It's a lot of things that go into it, bro. But when the teacher looks like this, you got niggas over here calling the kid blind or a retard. And I get most of these people are just joking, but at the same time there's truth to every single joke. And at the same time, we shouldn't be joking about. If the roles were reversed, I'll be calling for public execution, bro. No act like I would. Nobody cares when boys get raped. They only care when girls do. I've heard so many stories of younger boys.
Epidemic, bro.
This has literally been the talking point
for years.
Forever. The whole time. Yes, we've seen weird ass coaches be preying on the women. Yes, we've seen the fast girls who fall for it and go, you know what I'm saying? Yes, we've heard about the dudes that fall for whatever with the attractive teachers or whatever. And some of, I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the cases of the dudes and the men up until recently, they were either mid or just like not like outright like, oh, that teacher, da 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 da. So it was still crazy either way. But regardless, y'all can't have a double standard here, bro. Yeah. Lock them up.
Actually assaulted, touched, and everything, like pretty much everything you could think of while they were at a very young age.
When I was 9, I got by a guy with Down syndrome.
Don't laugh, right now. I'm not laughing.
Why'd you laugh?
It's just, it's such a curveball.
I'm gonna say it again, and if you smile, I'm gonna leave. So when I was 9 years old, every day for a summer.
Every day? You couldn't avoid him, for God's sake? All right, hold on.
And while I don't know anybody who's personally clapped a teacher, I remember this one story of this guy getting assaulted at the age of 5 by his 13-year-old cousin. And the way it impacted him in his future is so heartbreaking and scary that it literally just, it disgusts me. Because one day his cousins was babysitting him when he was like 5 or 6. And they were playing little games, they were playing house and all of that. And then one of the cousins just wanted to experiment, but they didn't have a guy around, so they just used their little cousin. And they proceeded to do all types of weird stuff with the cousin, to the point where the boy started crying, calling for his mom, but like they were babysitting him, so the mom wasn't there. Whenever he would would tell his parents, nobody believed him. So every single time he would go over to his cousin's house, the same process kept on happening. And it affected him so much to the point where when he grew up, he was put into special classes because of the trauma. Because he didn't want to talk, he didn't want to socialize. His brain was just overall messed up. Now look, all of that could have been hereditary, or some of that could have been hereditary for his actual mental weaknesses and all of that, right? But at the same time, I find it very hard to believe that those actual experiences and that trauma that he suffered when he was a kid didn't have any part to play into it. You know?
No, fact. As crazy as it don't even sound crazy. Truth be told, the female teachers could be preying on the fact that these are young dudes that probably just went through puberty. They rock solid in class for no reason half the time. Yeah. So it's like, it's still manipulated. Even though the dude might have been like, yeah, I did that. He still probably got manipulated because the teacher knows that most of those teenagers are going, you know what I'm saying? She know, oh, I look good. Most of them gonna go for it. And they pick who they want and go manipulate them into the situation. Into the situation.
Don't really talk about the repercussions of having sex at a young age for a boy. And I can tell you firsthand, it really does mess with your brain, because I actually had sex at 12. That's when I lost my virginity. It was to a girl that was much older than me. It wasn't rape. It wasn't any of that. But I'm not finna sit here and act like I wasn't kind of pressured into doing it. At the same time, I kind of got myself in that situation. It's partly my fault, and I did want to do it once I started figuring out what was finna happen. But at the same time, this was before I even really knew what sex was. She literally had to coach me through it. And I know some of y'all are behind the screens thinking like, yo, that must be the best thing ever. I mean, whatever. No, it's not. And let me tell you why. See, at the time, I thought I was the man. I thought I was that guy. I thought, you feel me? I was like lucky for getting to do it at a young age. But here's the thing. Me having sex at a young age literally corrupted my brain to the point where I thought for several years of my life, the only point of talking to a girl that isn't your friend is for sex. And I genuinely thought this for like 5 years of my life. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And it can also become a thing with the people you hang around where it's like, I'm the man, I'm the one that, y'all rookies. Now you got you trying to keep doing it to quote unquote impress them, and your friends are now trying to do it to impress you, so they not left behind. Now the whole circle corrupted, brain corrupted. Now one of y'all done got one of them pregnant at 14.
Now your life ruined.
Yeah, so
and the reason why is because that was really how I got introduced to women. Like, I didn't learn to like women, love them for the beauties and flaws. I just thought about, yo, I kind of want to see that clap on my dick. And that's a very, very dangerous trap to fall into, because you stop looking at women as people and more like objects, sexual objects, which is even.
I ain't gonna lie. I like this edit cloud. This was
I've been enjoying
this is heat.
Worse. From the time that I was 12
I'm talking about the video, yes. I was specifically talking about
the Windows
XP.
People and more like objects, sexual objects, which is even worse. From the time that I was 12 till now, I've racked up so many bodies, it really doesn't make sense. I feel like the big problem with why we cheat so much in our society is because we like each other's bodies and not each other's souls. For you to truly be happy with a girl, you have to enjoy her soul, the good and the bad, the pleasant and the unpleasant, not just her body. Just because a girl has a fat ass and a pretty face doesn't mean you need to date her. That's such a horrible mentality. Is crazy, and women do it too. But the reason why we do it is because at a young age we were exposed to
that video should be wiped from the internet, because that video don't make no goddamn sense. I think Nikki is obviously she didn't start the BBLs,
but there's an impact on this man. Because what the fuck is you, bruh?
Tropes before we were exposed to actual people,
and then her influence probably came from Lil' Kim and all of them. But she wasn't the first. Yeah. But for this generation, we remember the music videos, bruh.
Slowly trying to get back to a point where like I don't only value that, but it takes time. But God been working with me. He been helping me, so I feel like I'm gonna be straight. Just gotta trust the plan though.
You gonna be straight.
But besides that, I think that's gonna be it for this little video. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below, and feel free to.
We all think these teachers are sickos, and we need to lock them up
and put charges on them, bro.
For sure.